Hello, my name is Laura Castillo. The date is Sunday, January 21st, 2018, and the second part of this week's lab had to do with bacterial enumeration and dilution and plate count. For the first portion of this lab, we did the dilution through using the S. cerevisiae with 6 tubes. So on the 6 test tubes, we created a broth, and the way that we diluted it was to enumerate each one of them, number 1, test tube 1, all the way through 6. And starting with the very first test tube, you take the solution from that one, which was a mixture of the cerevisiae with diluted water, and distilled water. And from there, take a pipette, small sample of that pipette, move it to number 2, and then from the second tube, same thing, take another sample of that one, move it to test tube number 3, and then number 4, and then number 5, up to number 6. Meaning your 6th test tube is going to have the very least amount of the cerevisiae solution. From there, we took each test tube, and I already had my agar plates already set up, also numbered. We did have to do 6 of those as well, each one paired up with its test tube, and so that we can see the microbial growth on each of the plates and see the dilution process. So on the first one, this is test tube number 1, the growth on here was actually, it's pretty, there's a lot. There we go. Actually at this angle you can see quite a bit. The growth that forms in here, these are called colonies, which is really a combination of different microbial cells combined together. But when you have too much, as in this one, a lot of times it just merges together, so you can't even really count the colonies. So this would actually not be considered as something viable in order for a proper plate count or colony count. So this is number 1. This is the one that has the most growth in it. And then, as you'll see, this is number 2, which also has quite a bit of growth in it as well, but also too much to count. Also looks like it's just merging together, so there was no way we would be able to use this one as a viable plate count either. This is the 3rd one, so it's getting more and more sparse. However, this is also too much to count. And then, let's see, number 4 would be this one. Getting a little bit more sparse, but still just the combination on here, obviously just way too much, still merging together, so still wasn't able to use this one as a viable plate count. This is the one I actually ended up using for the lab. Approximately got about 247 or 250 colonies in here from what I was able to count. So this is what I ended up using, which was test tube number 5. So that's that one. Ironically, this, which has quite a bit of growth on it, we move over to number 6, which has very little growth in it. You can see some sort of something forming in there, but as far as colonies, I see just a couple specks. But you really want to use anything between 30 and 300 for a proper colony count. And so yeah, this is not enough. So for this lab, I actually found it to be very interesting. I look forward to what else is going to grow from these. And yes, so these are my dilution plate counts. Thank you very much.